Hi, my name is Kim Goodman, and I want to talk today about I am crazy about my husband. I've been married to the same wonderful man for 21 years, and we have a great marriage. And I just want to share with you some of the things that I have learned over the years. When we first got married, our first year of marriage, I made up a list and I pinned it up on top of our refrigerator of all the things that I love about Greg. And I put it there to remind myself on a regular basis of the things that I love about my husband. Our human nature, you think about if you go and you have your nails manicured and you're leaving, right as you're leaving the salon, and you bump into the door and you mess up one of your nails, your whole focus and your concentration becomes that one nail that you've messed up, forgetting those 9 nails that still look beautiful. And that's human nature. We do that. And I think we do the same thing in our relationships, and we tend to focus on the one thing that's really bothering us, and that becomes larger and larger. And so I really want to emphasize the importance of learning, choosing, making a decisive choice and a decision to focus on the good in your spouse. I recently made a list, again, after 21 years of marriage, of the things that I love about Greg. And I'm going to share that with you at the end of this talk, because I want you to hear about the kind of man that he is. But I counted like 46 different things that I listed about my husband. And my list has really changed from when we were first married. From the things like he's got beautiful eyes and a beautiful smile, and he loves the Lord, and he has a heart for others, and I just listed all the things that I love. And I encourage you to do that about your spouse, and to dig and to really put some time and thought into that, and then keep that list before you, whether you pin it up on your refrigerator, your mirror, have it in a journal where you have access to it. I encourage you to do that. About 3 to 5 years ago in our marriage, my husband started having an anger problem. And of course I wanted to put all of the blame on him. He had this anger problem. And then I started realizing that taking ownership, that I was the source of the anger with him. And that I was showing a lack of respect in my relationship to my husband. And that was coming out with him in anger. And I asked the Lord to show me, what does this look like? What does it look like in a marriage? I read a book that I highly recommend, Love and Respect by Dr. Emerson Eggerichs. And the Lord exhorts us. He says, husbands, love your wives, and wives, respect your husbands. The Bible never tells women to love your husbands. It tells you to respect them. Because to a man, well, for a woman even, loving a man is secondary to respecting him. If she cannot respect him, it's really hard for her to love him. And so I asked the Lord to start showing me what I was doing that showed disrespect to my husband, and whether it was a look, rolling my eyes, or whether it was something where I sided with the kids and not with him. It made a huge difference once I took ownership with my husband. The other thing that I want to really talk about is the home environment, how important it is in our homes. What kind of environment are you setting in your home? And this is something I really learned from my mom, who was wonderful at doing this. She used to, my dad was a driven personality, type A personality, and he would work hard and go hard all day long, owned his own business. He would come home at night and he would be just edgy and somewhat cranky and short, and she never allowed us to greet him at the door with, "Dad, the dishwasher's broken," or "Can you do this?" or "Can you fix this?" We had to allow my dad to come in, greet him at the door with love. My mom would have soft music playing. She created ambiance in our home environment, if you will. She had candles lit. She just had peace and quiet. The home was cleaned and picked up. And so I've learned that in my own marriage, to get my home ready for when my husband comes home in the afternoon, and just to prepare and have the kids do a quick pickup and have everybody having things neat, because I realize my husband appreciates the order. There were times early marriage when he'd come in and he'd say, "This place is a mess." And it made me start realizing how important it is just to have order in the home environment. I learned early on we have 6 kids, 6 wonderful kids that go from 19 down to 5 boys, and then we have a 4-year-old daughter. And I started doing this early on with kids, where I would lay down, when I would put my little ones down for a nap, I would lay down myself and take a little power nap. 15-minute nap is really all I needed. My sister takes a little bit longer of a nap, but whatever you can squeeze in, it just prepares me for being, it gives me that whole second wind to be ready for when my husband comes home, so I can turn and focus my attention on him, give him the love he needs. One of the things that I have learned to do in our marriage is to sit down whenever my husband comes home. I don't do this 100% of the time, but I really make a priority of doing this as many days a week as I can, to drop what I'm doing and to sit down with him. We call it couch time, or wine time. We have a glass of wine together in the evening, and to sit down and to focus on him and to find out all about his day and what things he dealt with and the problems that he dealt with and the things that were fun and funny, and just to share and just to get on the same page. And during that time, we pretty much have that time just for the two of us, and just kind of drop what's going on in the rest of the environment and give that attention to him. But I want you to think about, is your home a haven for your husband to come home to? The other thing that we like to do is when he walks in the door, everybody yells, "Daddy's home!" and everybody runs and greets him at the door. And the older teenagers have do not do this as much as down to my little ones do that, but everybody stops and comes in and respects him and says, "Hi, Dad, how's your day? How are you doing?" And everybody comes in and acknowledges Daddy and that Daddy's home, because he is the king of our home. And years ago, early marriage, we decided, I had graduated, have a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, and was heading down the nursing track, and we decided that we were going to bring me home when we had children, so that I could be in the home, and the Lord has really honored that decision. My husband had such an increase in his income from the time that we decided to do that, and the Lord just blessed it and has made it possible for me to be a mom in the home, which I know is not real common in today's society. To have a mother be a mother at home, so that to love and to nurture the children, and to bake and to do and to be a mom. And I know a lot of you are laughing. There's no way we could do that in today's society, but I challenge you to see if the Lord will bless that decision for you to come home and to be a mom. I also want to talk about that you are who you are in your home. Your attitude will affect everyone and everything in your environment. Learn to treat your husband as respectfully as you would treat someone out in public, your husband or your wife, as you would treat someone else out in public. You wouldn't spurn someone that you've just met, and use your public manners with your husband. Smile at him, laugh with him, find things to laugh about. Stop and enjoy your kids together. Greg and I love to look around and enjoy the kids and laugh at their antics and laugh at things, and it's a fun bonding thing to do that with him. I also encourage you to find common ground. I remember my dad telling me one time, "Your mother is not the same woman that I married." This is after 20 plus years of marriage with them. And then he said, "But I'm not the same man that she married." And he said, "You have to learn to grow and to change together." My mom and dad were married for 34 years before my dad passed away, and they had a wonderful marriage. And not that their marriage didn't have its hiccups, like any marriage does, like my marriage does, but that you can learn to enjoy the intimacy and the love, and having a spouse, and love and enjoy them and celebrate them, and truly, truly have a great, fun marriage together. I encourage you to go to bed with your husband. When he stops for the night and he's ready to head for the bed, I try to knock off what I'm doing so I can head to bed with him, and it helps your love relationship. It helps the intimacy and your love making. And so I encourage you to go to bed with him, because I find that if I wait, my husband is one of those that once his head hits the pillow, he's gone. He's out for the night. So I find that if I take the time to go to bed when he does, it just helps our love relationship be so much more fun and exciting and frequent. So I encourage you on that. I also encourage you to date your husband. Go on regular dates. Set up a time. You know, we lead very busy lives with 6 children. And we have kind of learned to carve out dates where we could. If we're taking a kid to sports and we have to wait on him across town for an hour and a half, I'll grab Greg and say, hey, I'll meet you over there and we'll grab a quick date. And so we learn to work in these dates wherever we can, but make a date out of things and date your husband, whether it's, and if you're tight on funds, figure out ways to date without spending money. Go for walks together. Go for, we do hot tub dates. We do all kinds of, maybe I'll do a talk down the road on different ways of dating him, but I encourage you to date your husband. I want to go ahead and share with you my list of the things that I read about Greg. These are things I love about Greg. He loves the Lord. He has beautiful eyes and smile. He's an amazing provider. He's a big thinker. He's a great lover. He has a tender heart. He's sensitive, sweet, athletic. He loves his family. He places value on his time with family. He's fun. He has a great sense of humor. I love how he plays with his children. He can fix anything that is broken, and he fixes it right away. He's conscientious. He's fair. He takes us on wonderful vacations. He stays active and fit. He's always complimentary of my cooking. He's an entrepreneur. He's got great people skills. I respect him. He's a successful businessman. After 22 years, I still love to be with him. I love how he cuddles me. He's open to how the Lord is teaching him. His love language is acts of service. He's always stopping and helping people, women who have flats on the side of the road or whatever. I trust him. He's a giver. He's generous. He is loyal, loving. He's dependable, responsible, intelligent. I am proud of him. He knows something about everything. He can converse with anyone. He's capable, willing. He's efficient in meeting our every need. He has a heart for others and the things of God. He is my best friend. He's a wonderful son, and he's respectful and loving of his parents. He is a good man. By the way, if you don't know, our last name is Goodman. So I encourage you to choose to dwell on the good. Make your list. Write your list of the things that you love about your spouse and focus on those. Choose to dwell on the good in him and watch your marriage become sweeter and richer and deeper.